Hello, this is a one-step sanitizing solution. We're putting that in the 6-gallon plastic bucket. For every tablespoon, you've got to add 1 gallon of water. Stir it up, and you have to wash all your equipment. Right, this is me sanitizing the look, and you just have to swirl it around in the sanitizing solution. I'm sanitizing this pitcher so I can put everything that's sanitized into that to keep it all sanitized. Sanitizing the thermometer. Sanitizing is a very important step. Right, here I'm putting the funnel on the carboy, and I'm going to put the sanitizing solution through the funnel and into the carboy and clean it. Right, the whole idea of sanitizing is to prevent bacteria that's nasty, and you see, so you don't want it in your beer. Yeah, and give it a swirl. Right, after you're done with that, the fun part begins, and we will make a Warbler Pale Ale. This beer is really close to a London Pride, and it's a very basic ale. It just has the 4 main ingredients, and that's about it. So here I'm pouring the sanitizer solution back into the 6-gallon plastic bucket, and to sanitize the funnel. Right, this is the Fugel hops, 2 ounces, the grains, and the malt extract. Right, and here I'm putting the crushed adjunct grains into the grain sack, and we're going to put this into 6 quarts of cold water and bring to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. We want to leave this in the water for about 15 minutes after it reaches 160 degrees. Well, when you get this water up to 160, leave it for 15 minutes, there'll be some great smells in the kitchen. $80 degrees, 120 degrees, 160 degrees. This is the malt extract, and we left it in the hot water so it will pour more easily. And this is where the grains are released the nutrients into the water. Right, after the 15 minutes has been up, you must drain the grains and get ready to pour the malt in and the other remaining ingredients to then put to a boil. It's very important to get all the nutrients out of right here. Right, now I'm going to cut open the malt and place the malt into the wort. Right, once we put in the malt, we have to boil it for 45 minutes. At this point, the mixture may rise. If so, just reduce the heat and it will fall not to rise again. Right, and now I'm going to have to add the Fugel hops. This is 1.5 ounces of Fugel hops. This is the wort after about 15 minutes. Right, it's important to stir the wort so you don't burn the bottom of the pan. Right, it's at 100 degrees Celsius right now and the 45 minutes is almost up. Right, then you have to add the remaining half an ounce of Fugel hops and let boil for another 15 minutes. So now I'm pouring the worts into the sanitized carboy, and right now it's very hot. It's still almost boiling, and it's a good idea to let it stand cool for about 5 minutes, and maybe place it in some cold water in like the sink, or just put some ice around it to bring it down. We're trying to bring the temperature down to 80 degrees so we can add the yeast. And then we have to add 3/4 gallons of cold water. Can I come home with you? Tell your mama and dad. It's nice to think that all this water is going to turn to beer and eventually end up in your belly. I can't help myself. Oh, you're so young and ready. I don't need nobody else. Come on, little school girl.
you're pretty. Oh, I can't help myself. Yeah, you're so young and pretty. I don't need nobody.
Right, this is the yeast, and 3 hours before I started brewing, you have to crack this yeast, and what will happen is the yeast will swell up. You see, there's a bag inside this bag, and if you have to hit it hard enough, and the yeast mixes with the liquid inside, and yes, it will swell up. Right, so it has now reached to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's ready to, add the yeast. And I sanitized the top of the yeast, the bag, to make sure there's no bacteria that gets into the beer. Right, so the yeast is in, and now it's time to add the fermentation lot. As you can see here, you fill the fermentation lot half filled with water, and put the cap in there, and put the cap on the top, little holes in it, and put it in the plastic stopper. Right, once you're done with that, you have to put this in a place where no sunlight can get in, and this has to ferment between 60 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit for about a week. Well, it's important to take a reading and of the specific gravity so you can tell the alcohol content. Right, it's bottling day today. Here I'm washing the bottles in the sanitizing solution, and you have to wash about 55 bottles. Also, we're going to boil the bottle caps, so sanitize that as well. Right, this is the corn sugar that I'm opening up. It's 3/4 cup of corn sugar that we're going to dissolve with 4 quarts of water. And what this does, this will make the beer fizzy. This will carbonate the beer, because we have to let the beer stand for another week after we rebottle it. So here I'm putting the corn sugar into the sanitized 6-gallon plastic bucket, and I'm going to siphon the beer using the siphon hose, and mix the fermented beer with the corn sugar. So about 5 gallons of beer, which we have here, will make, I would say, a rough estimate of about 50 bottles.
There's a red house over yonder.
It's important not to get that last 2 inches of sediment at the bottom, because it's just it can clog up the hose and it's a pain.
Oh Lord, there's a red house over yonder.
Right, so the bottle caps have been sanitized, and we are filling up each beer bottle with the beer now. And you want to leave about an inch at the top, so when the beer carbonates, the beer won't explode. So we just set them aside, and then we will cap them. So this can be a long, messy process actually. Right, so now we're going to cap the beer. We just put the cap on and use the cap presser, and that's it. So in slow motion now, you see you've got the cap pressed down, and here's the final product. And this is the best and most rewarding part of the whole thing.